So another question with fractions is this question 9 says write 0.956 as a fractionless terms. Now remember, as far as decimals go, the 9 is in the tenths place, the 5 is in the hundredths place, the 6 is in the thousandths place. So 0.956 actually reads as 956 thousandths. So I can actually write that as a fraction as 956 over 1,000. That's the way it's actually read. So I can write it as a fraction, 956 thousandths. So if I want to, I could reduce this to lowest terms as long as I can find a common divisor in the top and the bottom. I know that since 956 is even, I can divide that by 2. So 956 divided by 2 would give me then 478. So I can reduce this to 478, and I know that half of 1,000 is 500. I can also divide 478 by 2. So if I just hit division by 2, it'll bring the 478 on down. It'll give me 239. So if I divide each one of those by 2, that's going to be 239 over 500. Now, I cannot divide 239 and 500 by the same number. So what I can be doing is using prime numbers as a way to do this. So I could be using 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So we can start there and see if any of these numbers. So we know 2 doesn't work. So if we do 239 divided by 3, it doesn't go. And also this 500, you know, it may be easier to just look at the 500. What numbers can go into the 500? It looks like the 5 will, but the 5 will not go into the 239. The 7, 9, 11, 13, those are not going to go into 500 either. So I would say that 239 over 500 is lowest terms. Now, what I can do to make it easier is I can just type in 0.956 into the calculator, hit the math button, and say turn that into a fraction. So turn that into a fraction, and it gives me 239 over, oops, looks like I forgot to take half of the 500 there, didn't I? Yeah, y'all caught that, didn't you? So half of 500 would have been, oops, where are you going? That should have been 250, shouldn't it? Yeah, because I divided that by 2. I forgot to take half of 500, which would have been 250. So 239 over 250 would have been the right answer there. So notice how you can actually type that in to the calculator. Or again, if you want, you could just type in 956 divided by 1,000. And then you could say, hey, change that into a fraction, math fraction. Notice how it does give you 239. Oops, I didn't type divided by 1,000 though. Try that again. 956 divided by 1,000. That's 3 zeros. 0.956. That makes better sense because that's what we had over here, 0.956. And then if we hit the math button, I could turn it into a fraction from there as well and get the 239 over 250. So that's what we mean by lowest terms, is if we can divide the numerator and denominator by a common divisor, we reduce it. But when I cannot find any number besides 1 that divides into the top and the bottom, then that is what's called lowest terms. So it's got to be some, we usually use prime numbers. Notice how I used the 2 twice. I took a 2 out and took a 2 out again, and then there were no more 2s, and then none of the other prime numbers worked there either. So that's where it stopped. So that's what we mean by lowest terms.